Hello, hello, hello. I have something different planned for you all. Something that I'm pretty excited about. We're about to do a tier list on the current patch 11.6. Ranking the different junglers, sharing my thoughts on the different junglers, and overall giving all of you an idea of what champions to play and what champions not to play on the current patch, so you can go out and get a lot of elo in your very own solo queue games. There's a lot of junglers that are viable right now. Some junglers on this list are viable more than others. The ones that are not very viable obviously will end up in D tier, and the ones that are great and that I advise you to play to get some free low will get S tier. I think Amumu is somewhere at the bottom. I don't think he's good by any means. I think Amumu has a lot of weaknesses right now. I think he's getting buffed on the next patch, so that could help bring him back in the meta. He was really OP in preseason. He was a very, very strong jungler, the strongest jungler at one point. But then Amumu got nerfed, tank items got nerfed, and he just fell out of the meta. Mundo is an interesting one for sure. And I think Mundo, in his current state, is pretty strong. He has a really strong clear speed. Tank items generally are not the strongest, but there's decent solutions and ways to go about it on Mundo, where he still feels solid, where he still can spike, and just as a champion, like his base stats are pretty good, and I think Mundo is in a good spot all around. He's simple to play, he's easy to play, and I think he fits well in the current meta, and therefore I'm gonna put Mundo in A tier. Echo is the next champion. Echo is not that strong right now. Echo, unlike many of the junglers that are gonna be high on this list, has a very slow clear speed. I think Echo can snowball really hard if you get fed, but getting those early kills that are required for you to get in that position where you can carry the game is a bit unreliable. The clear speed is a big minus. Outside of that, I actually think the champion can be pretty decent. Not A, not C, right in the middle between a champion that is pretty good and a champion that is pretty bad. It's just pretty neutral, like it's a pretty decent jungler all around. Now we get to Elise. Elise, obviously, one of my favorite champions. I love this champion. This champion is awesome. It's one of the greatest champions in the game, regardless of the meta. But I have to be objective as well. Elise is not an S tier champion right now. There's simply no way. Right now, the strongest junglers are the junglers that can power farm. Just clear camps within seconds and still find the windows, the pressure, go for objectives, go for ganks. And Elise, similar to Echo, relies on getting those early ganks off. Now, Elise does have a lot stronger ganks than Echo. She also doesn't scale very well, and yeah, again, the clear speed is a bit rough, so... And I think Elise is stronger in solo queue than she is in competitive, therefore I'm gonna put her in A tier. Evelynn is an interesting one, I feel like. She could be hard to rank. She has a really strong clear speed, fits pretty well in the current meta. AP junglers, generally speaking, are quite strong right now. Is she on the same level as Mundo and Elise, though? She's a pretty unreliable champion. I think she struggles against a lot of the current meta junglers. She has a hard time keeping up. She can get pressured pretty hard in the early game, and she doesn't provide as much. Like, if I was also filled and I were to decide on whether I should have a Mundo, Elise, or Evelynn on my team, I think I would take the Mundo Elise. I think overall they're more consistent than Evelynn is. Fiddlesticks, pretty interesting champion. There's not a lot of Fiddlesticks players around. He's generally a niche champion. Not a lot of players can play him at a high level. I think he's pretty hard to play. If he's played really well, he can be a very strong champion. He can be really hard to deal with. His early game is not the strongest. Similar to Eve. Spikes hard at 6. I think he has a lot of the same weaknesses that Eve has. And I just don't think he's the most consistent champion. But I don't very much believe in this champion. So I'm gonna put the strongest on the left side. Got it. Gragas is the next one. Very similar champion to Elise. Really strong team fighting. Strong early game. Very slow clear speed. You know what? Let's put him here. Let's put him here. I think you guys are right. Let's put him here. I think this is the perfect spot for Gragas. Gragas is pretty solid. The clear speed is the biggest downside, but if you manage to find just 1-2 openings in the early game, you need to play aggressive, of course, but if you manage to do that well, you can pop off really hard on Gragas and you can carry the game with ease. Graves. I mean, this one is easy. He's gonna go right up here in S tier. Graves is our first S tier champion. Graves is insanely strong in solo queue. I would want this champion on my team every single game. Really strong early game, really fast clear speed, snowballs really well. Very solid champion all around. He's really annoying to play against. But you know what's even more annoying to play against? Hecarim. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I have a feeling Hecarim is gonna be listed as the most broken champion on this entire tier list. Hecarim is insane right now. This champion is so strong. If you're a jungler aspiring to get elo, if you ever see Hecarim being open, log in this champion. This champion is monstrous. He's really strong. Ivern is an interesting one now. Ivan has the same problem he's always had in solo queue. The main problem he's having is that he's really team reliant. On a lot of the other champs that are being put in S and A tier, you can solo carry games. You can be proactive, you can find leads of your own, either by ganking, by pressuring the enemy jungle, by doing whatever. But Ivan is a support. And the way he functions is that if your team is doing well and if your team is winning, you're going to make them win even harder by shielding them, keeping them all alive, and just being monstrous in terms of scaling and in team fighting. But he doesn't do much in the early game compared to a lot of other junglers. But I also think he's better than Fiddlesticks, and he's going to be high B. Jarvan. Generally, I don't think Jarvan is a good solo queue champ. When I see Jarvan, I don't have the feeling that I want to lock in this champion. And if I do lock in this champion, I don't have the feeling that I'm gonna, carry the game and win. If you play against an S tier champion and things don't go your way, the game is gonna be really hard. Let's be real, it's gonna be a rough game. And he's gonna be in C. He's a C tier champion in solo queue. I don't think he's a good solo queue champ. I'm not even entirely sure why Jax is even on this list. No. That's a no. That's a D. A fast D. And we move on. I don't think that's much to say. Karthus is a good champion. I like Karthus a lot in solo queue. The power of the R button. Man, I see Karthus, I already want to lock him in. I love this champion, he's so strong. You one-shot your jungle camps. You AFK farm your jungle the entire game. You don't have to gank, you just click R and you've done your job. No, I'm just kidding, of course, but he's not OP, but he's really strong. I think he's better than Mundo as well. Karthus is monster strong in solo queue. I think Kayn is a good champion as well. Recently, a lot of people have started playing Kayn with the new build, like full lethality, blue Kayn. I've had a decent amount of success with that as well. I've actually played it quite a bit. I think it's relatively hard to pull off. I don't think it's an easy champion by any means. I think he's pretty solid, honestly. Is he above Elise? No, he's below. He's below Elise for sure. It's a low A, yeah. Kha'Zix has to be somewhere in B tier. He's a bit past his prime. He was a great champion a couple of years ago. I think he needs a little push, climb the tier list. I would put him right here below Gragas. I like Kindred right now, actually. I think Kindred is good. I think AD carry items in general are pretty strong right now. There's a couple of different Kindred builds that you can go and have a lot of success with, regardless if you want to go Gale Force, Kraken Slayer, Immortal Shield Bow. Functions really well with the AD items. Spikes, already at one item, but when you have 2-3 items, if you can pick up some marks in the early game, I think I'm gonna move. I think this is fine. Now Lilia, I love Lilia. I love playing Bambi. Bambi is so much fun. This champion is so much fun to play. I think she's really strong in competitive. She's seeing a lot of playing competitive for a good reason. But I don't think she's that good in solo queue. I think she's too utility centered. I don't think she's a typical solo queue 1v9 carry champ. Like, I think she's good, but I think she's team reliant. Similar to Ivan for that reason. She's gonna end up in B tier. Oh, listen. Good old Lee. Oh, I wish I didn't have to do this to you, Mr. Leeson. This champion is not good right now, guys. Oh, no. He just doesn't fit in the current meta. He's just bad, guys. Like, if you don't go full beast mode and smurf like crazy, a lot of champions in this list, most of the champions in this list, is gonna bring more to the game than you will as Lee Sin. Like, he just sucks right now. He is C. I think he's below Jarvan. I will put him right here. The way that I've always felt about Master Yi is that this champion is broken. Okay, I don't think he's broken in lower elos. I think he's really strong in lower elos. But I think once you reach a certain level in the game, this champion is too easy to shut down. He becomes too unreliable. He has to go to C tier. Like, there's no way. I can't put Yi high up. Like, this champion is not good, guys. I'm gonna put him right here. He's below Lee Sin. There's a Morgana! The Morgana, guys, it's happening. We have to rank Morgana jungle. Let's go! The moment we've all been waiting for. Holy poggers, it's happening. If I were to put Morgana in D tier right now, that would mean I've intentionally lost an LCS game. Like, do you think I would ever play a D tier champion in an LCS game? I mean, come on. I'm gonna put her below Kindred. Nidalee, easy. She's A tier. Right here, this is where Nidalee has to go. This champion is insanely strong right now. She's works similar to Graves in a lot of ways. Fast clear, really strong in jungle skirmishes. She has everything you want from a jungler right now, basically. Nidalee is OP. She's insanely strong. Where do we put Nocturne? Presence of Mind got changed a while ago. I think that hit Nocturne pretty hard. The main problem with Nocturne is that he's so reliant on his ult, which is the case throughout the entire game. He's just an ult bot. Whenever you don't have ult, you can't do anything. He's not as bad as Jarvan and Lee. He's gonna go somewhere. He's better than Echo. I will put him here. Nuno. Where do we put you? I think Nuno is a good champ. I don't think he's as good as he used to be. I think he was insanely broken when tank items were OP. You know, I actually think he has to go like here, which is a relative high rank. But I think he deserves it. I think Nuno deserves to be here. Olaf is a good champ. Olaf is... It's AIS. I don't know if he's strong enough to put him in S tier though. If you're a jungler wanting elo, Olaf should be one of the champs to consider without a doubt. He has to be right here. He's below Katus, but he's high up there. High A. Pantheon got destroyed in a patch 1-2 months ago. He was pretty good jungler at the start of the split, actually, at the start of the year. I think Pantheon used to be somewhere... He was an A tier. He was around A. Then Riot decided to put him down here. Do you know who else belongs in the trash can? Poppy. I think she's better than Pantheon. Kiana. Now we're getting... now we're getting all these junglers out of the way. Like... That's 3 in a row, straight into the trash can. Like, we don't even have to talk about these, they're just gone. Like, don't worry about them, just don't play these champs. Is Ramos a D tier champion? I think he's better than the champs listed in D tier. I think he's a C champ, but he's not good at all. I would put him below Amumu. I actually think Rexha is a really good solo queue champ right now. Really good. I think he's solid. Sorry to the ones that I offended. I think she will go into the B tier, but she's gonna be high up the B tier. I think she's above Lilia. She's gonna go here. I think Rexha is better than Lilia and solo queue. Ringa is an interesting one. I think if you're really good on Ringa, you can make him work, and you can make him work really well. He can be really hard to play against. But if I look at the average Ringa, I'm not too worried. I actually think Ringa has a pretty high skill cap. This champ is hard to play at a high level. I think he's the highest C tier champ. Same as Amumu and Ramos. Tank items got nerfed, Sejuani got destroyed. She hasn't made her way back since. She doesn't clear the jungle that fast. Relies a lot on team comp. She's really weak in most 1v1s. She loses 1v1 to almost every single jungler on this tier list. I think she's above Amumu, but below Master Yi. Zed. I'll put Zed here. I think Zed jungle used to be great last year, but got nerfed. Feels pretty bad playing it. Shaco, we're gonna put in D tier. I've been very nice to all of you. I'm gonna move up Shaco. There you go. I think Shen, D tier. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put him above Poppy, and then we're just gonna move on. Shen jungle, I don't know, not much to talk about that. Shyvana jungle, not too bad, not too bad. I think Shyvana jungle is actually okay. Some interesting builds you can go with Shyvana with the AP jungle route. Not that reliable, not that strong in skirmishes early on. You rely a lot on having your ult. If you don't have your ult up, it doesn't really do much. I'll put her above Ringa. I'll put her right here. Skarner. I honestly think Skarner is a pretty decent champ. I think Skarner is solid. I also think he's team reliant. Therefore, he's not gonna get the highest rank. I'll put him here. That's where he belongs. He's very weak on his own. He relies a lot on level 6. When you don't have level 6, you're a minion. Sylas jungle got destroyed a while ago. Completely. It's a D tier champion now. He can't even clear his jungle camps anymore. I'll put him here. Talia! I like Talia a lot in general. Think she's a great champion. If you have a CC lane, it's one shot on every gank against the S tier junglers. But you have potential to outplay, and you can keep up with them most of all. I'll put her right here next to Katus. I think she's a pretty great champion all around. I think I'll just put him here and call it a day. I don't want to target Trundle. I mean, who cares about Trundle? Trundle is not good right now, guys. Trundle is not great. Udyr. I mean, this one's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward where I have to put Udyr. Even though Udyr has gotten nerfed, he's still broken. I'll put him here. I think that's where Udyr belongs. This champ is just OP. Viego is an interesting one. Solid jungler. He's a bit weird, a bit wonky. I think in general, I think Viego is a bit stronger top lane than his jungle. I'll put him here. I think that's where Viego belongs. I don't even remember when I saw a Vi. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be though. But I also don't think it's good. I think she's worse than Lee, but she's better than Master Yi. That's what she's below Master Yi. I'll put her right here. Okay, Volibear. He hasn't been having a fun time jungling recently. He just got hit too hard by too many nerfs. Like this champ got nerfed so many times. I don't think he's that strong. Like I'll put him here. You're right, guys. You're right. He goes here. Warwick is here. C tier champ. I think Warwick is good for low elo. I always like to recommend people in silver and below to play Warwick, maybe even gold. His kit is pretty convenient for people that are learning to play the jungle. Once you reach a certain level, Warwick falls off really hard and he's too easy to play against. Wukong. I wouldn't want to play Wukong jungle right now. I think he's a pretty strong top laner as a jungler. Not very convincing. Above Shego. Okay, Xin Zhao. Now Xin Zhao is interesting because Xin Zhao recently got a buff as well. That buff made him rise on the jungle tier list very similarly to what we saw with Volibear. On the previous patch, before Volibear would be pretty low, Xin Zhao would be the same case. But now Xin Zhao with the new AP build is actually really strong AP Xin Zhao. I actually think the new Xin Zhao is really good. I think it's a low A. I think he's an A tier champion right now with the buff. Yone. A casual Yone appears. What is Yone doing here? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? It's just the lowest of lowest. Zac, the last champion. I think he goes here. I think it's Zac is hard to rank, I'm telling you. Like, he's just 2 weeks away high C. He has to be low C. Yeah, this is it. That's the tier list. You got it right here. I think it's a good list. I think it gives all of you a pretty clear indicator of what you should and what you shouldn't play in solo queue. If you play any of the S tier champions, if you play them at a decent level, you have a very high chance of having a lot of success getting elo. Any of the A champions solid as well. When you go B and below, that's where things can get a little more wonky. Your chances of winning the game will slightly decrease. But if you go for a B tier champion, you should be in a pretty decent spot to win the game as well. Although some of them might require a bit of experience to make them work. I don't think anyone can just blindly whip out the Morgana. But the way that I look at these champs is that if they're played in the jungle at a certain level, if the person playing them has any idea of what he or she is doing, this is the amount of success you should be able to achieve with the champs.